I'm going to introduce to you my co-host this afternoon. He can come on and jump on in here. It's Adam Phillips. Adam's the president of the company. His father is the founder and the CEO of the company. But we get the opportunity to have Adam on here this afternoon. So it's good to see you, Adam. Good to have you here with me today.
Hey, yeah. Thanks for having me, Eric. My voice is a little bit gravelly. I've got some allergies going on, but hopefully I won't cough directly into the microphone. I'll try to mute myself. But I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I had to do the same thing. Hopefully we won't give anybody the old nasty stuff here while we're doing the webinar. So I think everybody's going to be fine. Adam, I got a picture of you that actually just last Monday. Why don't you tell us about what this picture is all about?
Sure. So that was the kickoff Monday morning this week. We started our live training classes that we hold in Dallas near the airport. And as you can see, quite a bit of interest in what we're doing here. And there's really, the industry is exploding right now. People from all different types of business backgrounds are able to get into this business and be trained by us and be successful at this. And there's no sign of it. There's really no sign of it letting up from a potential revenue standpoint. I mean, there's just so much money being thrown around in this industry that all of these people in this class have the ability to make a very, very nice living. And anyone on this webinar who wants to join us, it's definitely not too late. I mean, we're not anywhere near being, saturated as far as the number of potential clients and doctors that are out there that need help.
You bet. And this is just a reflection of, I would say, really, Adam, the last few training courses that we've had. Normally, at the first part of 2017, we were averaging anywhere from 20 to 22 participants in our training class. As we started closing in on 2017 and even in 2018, we're averaging 26 to 28 people in our training classes. I don't know what we're going to do if we go over 30.
We're going to have to find a bigger room, that's for sure.
That's true. But it is very exciting, folks, and we're just excited to be able to present this to you, because what Adam and I are going to do today, we're going to, again, just kind of take you on a little tour of some of the things that these folks are actually going through this week. And so that's going to be a great privilege for us to be able to do that. Now, before we get started here, I want everybody to know that you can go over to your handout area. So there's going to be a couple of places underneath the GoToWebinar control panel. We're going to push some information over there to you. First of all, is the PDF of today's slide deck. So you'll be able to go over there, download that. You can keep it for yourself, print it out for yourself, show it to your partner if you're working with a particular partner, or show it to other people. There's nothing on here that's that we're trying to hide from you or hide from anybody else. So go ahead and download that, save that for yourself. Maybe you want to come back and watch the webinar later on. At least you'll have that. And then again, let me remind you that we want you to ask questions during the webinar. So feel free to do that with us at any time during the webinar today. Adam, I wanted to start off with this because really a lot of people are still wondering, is this still a good business to be in? So it's good to hear from other people besides us here at ABS. And the Black Book research, I know that we use this a lot. Every year they come out with something new. We're looking for their new research development or new research things that they have. But again, according to Doug Brown, he said the rise in healthcare expenditures is creating urgent demand for outsourcing solutions in the physician practice across the country. I think that kind of really goes along with what you were saying just earlier about the amount of people that we're seeing in our training classes.
Yeah, and especially the smaller, medium-sized private practices, they really are getting to the point where they're having to fight for every penny that's owed to them. And doctors are getting burned out. They're getting burned out on trying to manage the paperwork, and they just want to practice medicine, So if we can get the billing and several other, what we call revenue cycle management services outside of the office, almost in every scenario, that frees up the doctors, frees up the staff to do all the other hundreds of things they have to do throughout the day. So that's why they're outsourcing more and more.
Yeah, you bet. One of their statistics that they have is right here where it says revenue cycle management outsourcing is expecting a 42% growth rate over the period of Q4 of 2016 all the way through Q1 of 2019. Well, that's a pretty significant growth rate.
Absolutely, and it just keeps trending upwards.
Yeah, and we're right in the middle of it. I mean, so folks, just don't think because we're going to get to the quarter 2019, which obviously we're right in the middle of the first quarter of 2018, if it's going to die off. I actually probably anticipate this number is either going to stay right where it is or grow as we can see it. And then one of the other things, which again, 96% of practices report inefficient billing processes. So, you know, as someone's looking to get into any type of market, Adam, they're always want to know, is there oversaturation? Is there a market for me? Will doctors use me? I mean, these numbers right here are, you just can't blink at here.
Yeah, we get those kind of questions all the time. You know, is there a place for me, little old me, in this industry? And if you look at what our licensees are earning, I mean, you can make a really, really nice living with literally just a handful of doctors. So you're able to market these services to any medical provider anywhere in the United States. There are no restrictions because we're not a franchise. So right. The reality, you know, the potential for you, little old you, to go out and get, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 doctors, that's a very real, you know, possibility that can happen. And we you know, with our help, we can get you there.
You bet. Adam, I got a question that came in here. I'm going to let you answer this question. I think Arthur may have missed this right at the beginning of the webinar, but he's asking, how long have you been in this business? Why don't you tell us before we jump into everything, just take a few minutes and just kind of give the history of how this all got started.
Sure. Well, it's a family business. My parents actually started this company. They founded ABS in 1994. So we're on 24 years now, like Eric mentioned. Even prior to that, they were doing billing from home for some doctors that they had signed up, and they didn't have, you know, they didn't have the backing of a company like us, and so they had to learn a lot of things the hard way, you know, how to not market, you know, and how to get clients and things like that. But I actually have memories of my mom using a typewriter to do billing in the 80s. I mean, that's how long we've been doing this. So we've been doing it for a long time. We've got a lot of successful licensees all over the place, and it shows no sign of letting up. So here we are today.
Yeah, here we are today. And so thanks for asking that question there. All right, so we're going to get started right on our topic here, how to start a turnkey business in healthcare. And Adam, it really starts whenever, like this graphic is showing. It's kind of like when we hand over those keys over to somebody in our training class. And really, it starts right here at Live Training Workshop, and then really day one. That's really where everybody's kind of meeting. It's where as they would say, the rubber meets is the road here. Mm-hmm. The first thing they're going to learn is revenue cycle management. Why don't you kind of take us through this graphic here and explain what RCM, or revenue cycle management, is?
Yeah, we've thrown that phrase out several times on this webinar already, and that's really the big differentiator. There's a lot of people out there offering medical billing, you know, as a service, and what we have found is there's people that don't really focus on any other issues that doctors are having outside of just sending a claim, you know, an insurance claim to an insurance company, and you know, the doctors hopefully will get paid on that at some point, and they, you know, help make that happen. But there's a lot of other factors and a lot of other points of things that could go wrong to actually hurt the doctor's bottom line outside of simply sending those claims into the company. So we call it revenue cycle management, and it starts from the very beginning. It starts all the way at the front of, you know, like a new patient who wants to come and see the doctor, how that very first phone call is handled, all the way through to scheduling the appointment, verifying the insurance more than once to make sure that the patients have active insurance before the doctors do the work. And then all the way through to the appointment where the doctors treat the patients and how that's handled, how the claim gets created and sent instantly back over to the billing company right after the patient is treated, all the way to sending the claim into the insurance company and the doctor getting paid on it in a timely manner. So there's a very specific set of things to pay attention to, and it's called revenue cycle. And we help we help manage that outside of the doctor's office so they don't have to stress out about it.
You bet. Very great explanation there. And because a lot of people don't know, they think I'm just going to get into medical billing. But folks, kind of broaden your thought here. It's more than just medical billing, because anybody can basically type out a claim. We're going to show you how we do that and how our new group of folks did that this last Monday. But it is that managing everything that from start to finish here. So that's what we're going to kind of show you here. But it really starts here with, again, what we say as the ABS advantage. It's our billing system, or what's called practice management system, our EMR system. And Adam, again, it kind of goes right in hand with us having a clearinghouse. Why don't you explain that distinction of what makes us better, basically, than anybody else?
Yeah, a lot of people, even a lot of people that are in the industry, they don't realize that these 4 little quadrants here, we call them platforms. So these 4 platforms, iClaim, which does billing and practice management, EMRX, which does electronic medical records for the doctors to use while they're treating the patients, the clearinghouse, as well as the patient portal, which is the site that patients go to get all of the information on their visits and prescription refills and communicating with the doctors and everything. All 4 of those platforms, in our case, was built by one development team under one roof. And that's actually very, very rare in the industry. So most of the other competitors out there, they have multiple companies that have built these different platforms, and they try to get them to talk to each other. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you have doctors that are doing duplicate data entry because their EMR system doesn't even talk to their billing system. So they have to do duplicate data entry, and it's just a huge time waste. So the fact that ours is developed by one team, fully integrated, all of the patient information, claim information, the financial information, it all goes back and forth in between all of these platforms seamlessly. So that's the big differentiator there, and that's what we show you on day one, is how to use the system.
You bet. And folks, again, if you'd like to see that in real time yourself, just take the opportunity and let's do a demonstration of our software for you. We'd love to be able to do that. The other thing is, Adam, is a lot of people are asking, do I have to know codes? How do I get through these codes? Maybe share a little bit about the information about codes and how all that works within our system as well.
So also on day one, we have a medical billing 101 session. So we take it from the very beginning and explain exactly what medical billing is, how it works, all those different aspects of the revenue cycle that I mentioned a moment ago. And we also do lightly cover medical terminology. Now, we don't get deep into the weeds on this because we could spend 5 days on specifically just coding if we wanted to. That's not how we do things. So what we do is we give you a good overview of what these are all about and how they work and how the doctors use these codes and this terminology to create their claims and whatnot. But when it comes time to actually do the work, we have people that can help do the coding part. If the doctor is not willing to do it themselves, we have certified coders that you can lean on, so you don't have to know coding as a licensee.
Yeah.
So literally, you can go through our 5-day class and learn, everything there is to know about the business, and you can promote yourself as a certified coding company without you yourself having to spend 2 years or whatever it is going through coding school. So that's how we're different. We put you on a quick path to signing up clients, and we have a lot of experts behind the scenes doing a lot of the heavy lifting with the terminology and coding and all that.
Yeah, and folks, if you think about it, we're not just trying to teach you how to do medical billing or just to do coding. The experience that you get here and our advantage that we have here at ABS is to set you up as a company that is doing all of these things, whether it's billing, whether it's the coding, whether it's the management of the revenue, whether it's the technology that we have behind it. Folks, that's what we're doing. We're setting you up to be a business owner in revenue cycle management. And so with all of the different services that Adam has already said, and we'll go through a few of those shortly here, that brings you a lot of wait as you're going out there to do your marketing. And we're going to help you right through all along the way. One of the things that they also learn, and that you would learn on day one, is to actually go through the iClaim system, learn it inside and out, get your hands inside of it. So as you can see right here, we're going to show you the full practice management system of iClaim, because a lot of people, Adam, think of iClaim as just being a billing part of the system, which that's it. But there's actually three major components that can actually be worked from iClaim. The doctor can get in there for their EHR or for the electronic medical records. The front office is using a portion of it, and then the billing company is all working it all together.
Yep, we get you hands-on with the system. We have laptops in front of everyone, because a lot of people on day one, they're thinking, man, I really just need to see the system. I need to see how the technical aspects of it works. And so we have everyone filing claims on the system by the end of the first day. That's how easy it is to learn the basics of the system.
Yeah, and what we're showing you on screen is basically what you're going to go through. You're going to log on to the iClaim platform. You're going to go right over here where it says professional claim charges. You click on that. That's going to get you to this section, and you're going to start filling out this form. If you'll look up at the top left-hand corner, it says create a claim, CMS 1500. Now, this is the charge entry form to actually start processing a claim. We're going to give you all the codes as if we were the doctors. You're going to put all of that in there, all that information into the system, and you're going to learn how to click and create a claim, and you're going to kind of watch it go all the way through. So as you can see here, you're going to get all this information. You're going to have lots of hands-on. There are the laptops there. You're going to put in patient intake forms. You're going to look at super bills. So really, this workshop is not just sitting back twiddling your thumbs. I mean, Adam, we've got them working day one.
Yeah, and you're not going to believe how easy this is. It's super easy. And the funny thing is the slides that we're showing right now, this is actually the way to do it that takes a little bit longer. Even though it's super easy, it takes a little bit longer if the doctors don't want to use our electronic health record system. A lot of them do want to use it though, because when they see the features, they're like, oh man, I gotta switch to this. It's awesome. Which a lot of this stuff is already taken care of for you. So anyway, it's super easy to learn. You can teach a college student how to use the basics of the system in a day, just like we teach you how to use the basics of it in a day. So if you want a more detailed demo, just get with your business coach and we can get you a live demo of the system.
Adam, before I move on from day one here, Rodney's asking the question, what is stopping the doctor once he learns the system to maybe get rid of you?
That's a great question, Rodney. I mean, why do they need a licensee? I mean, they can go and find a system like this and do it themselves, and that's actually that's something that they can do. But the problem is even if they have a similar system, cloud-based or whatever, they still have to take the time to do it. Whether it's it's certainly not going to be the doctor doing the billing themselves, so they have to hire someone to do the work. And I mean, we're talking a minimum of 35 grand a year for an in-house biller, where you could pay a licensee to do the work, and they could do the work more efficiently for 20, 25 grand a year. But that's what our licensees make on each doctor, roughly. So, I mean, right there, he's saving money off of not having to pay someone a salary, but also that in-house person, they make the same amount of money no matter what happens to those claims. So where's the motivation there for them to do it right? See, your selling point is you can tell the doctor, look, my company gets paid a percentage of what you get paid. So we're going to make darn sure these claims are filed in a timely manner, and every penny that you're owed is paid to you. So that's why licensees are able to get business, and doctors love it. They can see the money hitting their account within 7 days of using our system. So they love it.
Yeah. So Rodney, hopefully that answers your question. And before I go on, one more, I see down here. Now there's some other questions here, but I've kind of skipped through this. Jeff is asking this question. So Jeff asked, Adam, I noticed on the last screen, I'm going to show that screen. It says the last screen that the doctor was using EMRX, but you mentioned that there are additional service. That was an additional service. What if the doctor doesn't want to use EMRX?
Where is that question? I don't see that one.
It's down there towards the last.
Okay. So what if the doctor doesn't want to use EMRX? Jeff, that's perfectly fine. We have licensees with all different types of scenarios with their different clients that they have. What we're seeing right now, we're seeing a big trend where doctors who were early adopters of electronic record systems are jumping ship because the systems are crummy. We have seen in the news recently some huge electronic medical records companies have gotten into big trouble. eClinicalWorks, big legal trouble right now. Allscripts had a huge ransomware attack. And there was one other one that's gotten into trouble for marketing to their licensees, doctors or something. Anyway, doctors are jumping ship left and right and jumping onto our EMRX product. So that's happening, but they don't always want to do that, and we know that. So we can integrate with a lot of the competitors out there, the electronic health record systems that are out there. We have a development team that can do that. Even if they can't for some reason, we can show you how to get the coding information out of their current system and type it into our system. So, I mean, there's any number of scenarios that could be potential, for you to still make revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, great. Yeah, that's great way to answer Jeff's question there. All right, folks, we got to for time's sake, we got to keep going, and we're only really completed day one. So let me hop back over here and look at day two. So day two, which would have been yesterday. This is what they went through yesterday, and that was an overview of the EMRX system. So as Adam was sharing with Jeff there, the doctors don't necessarily have to use our EMR system. However, they will find some advantages utilizing our EMR system. But what we do on this particular day, we actually do a demo for the entire class as if we were demonstrating this for your doctor. Adam, tell us a little bit about how we work our support and how the EMR system and the iClaim system are actually demoed by our demo team to assist our new medical billing companies to actually get a doctor.
Yeah, so that's a very important part of our marketing process that we teach you is, step one is you're gonna do an analysis of their practice, and we teach you how to do that. It's very easy. It's a series of questions that we give you to ask them. Usually it's done with the office manager, sometimes the doctor. But once that information is gathered, we help you put together a report that you can take back to the doctor, and you can say, okay, based on the information that you gave us, it looks like, we've identified some areas where you've got some trouble, and I've got some solutions to that. Now, what I'd like to do now is I'd like to schedule a demo with my demo team, and that's us. So we, ABS, our demo team, we actually do a full demonstration of the iClaim system and the EMRX system. We do it over GoToMeeting, kind of like how we're doing this webinar right now. And the doctors are able to ask questions. We answer all their technical questions. We show them all the neat features that are kind of separating us from the herd and get them excited about using the system. And those are something that we do for you for free. You never have to pay us for doing these demos, and we will do them for the life of your business as long as you need us to. So that's a part of the process.
And I tell you, that's great, because I got to do one last Friday. I think all of our guys that were doing demonstrations were all tied up doing something, but I got to do one Friday. Adam, this was incredible. I wish I could have recorded it, but it was with one of our brand new licensees working with a brand new doctor of hers. I got the opportunity and the privilege actually to do the demonstration. And I'm telling you, you're exactly correct. I got to share with that doctor some of the key components of iClaim and the electronic medical records platform, EMRX. I couldn't even hardly get through the entire demo. That doctor was already on board. She was already telling her office manager, we are going with this. It wasn't even like she was asking, are you okay with it? It's like, this is what we're doing. So it was pretty exciting. And that's the great part about here again about ABS. You're not just left into yourself after you leave training, although that's what we're talking to you today about. is this live training part of how to start this turnkey healthcare business. But it just doesn't end on Friday. We are continually here with some of the things we'll talk to you about support and even our licensee support site. So again, this whole part of what we do on Tuesday to do this demonstration, we kind of play that role-playing game where it's like we're doing it directly for you, for your doctor, and we're just going step by step through this very systematically. So it's very, very helpful. All right, so day 3, Adam. I mean, this was today's date, and this is where I think marketing actually gets kicked off here. So it's a big part, kind of seeing the full picture of all these different services that we have.
It looks like your screen might be stuck. I don't know, but yeah, day 3. Yeah, there it goes. So yeah, so we have a bunch of different products and services and solutions that you can offer, and each one of these is potential revenue stream for you and your company. So this is what differentiates you from what we call the mom and pop billing companies out there, where all they offer is billing, and that's it. And so the doctor asks, you know, hey, do you have an EMR system? No. Do you have a service that can help me in case Medicare ever tries to come and audit me? You know, most companies say no, we don't have that. So this is all stuff that we have. And I think we're going to kind of go through it real quickly and explain some of these stuff.
Yep.
Some of this.
Yep.
Services.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned CODERITE already, or coding services. You talked about us having certified professional coders. And this is what this is about. It's about CODERITE. It's going to help you open up a huge market. Because obviously we know already, Adam, you and I know, it's the doctor's responsibility to do their coding, but ever so often a licensee of ours is going to run across a doctor that says, I want you to do my coding. Can you do that? And as you mentioned earlier, I love how you put that you as a company become a certified professional coding company, that you already have coders for you that are already working with you.
Yes, and there's a question that came in from Aether. Do you charge separately for coding in this case? Yes. So what our licensees are doing right now, typically speaking, is they're charging an additional per claim fee on top of the percentage that they're charging for doing the billing, because we do have a technology partner that's doing the coding work. So for example, excuse me, you can say to the doctor, you know, yes, we can do your coding for, you know, let's say $6 a claim. And then you're paying our coders roughly $3.50, for example. So that's how the model works for all of our services. There's typically a transactional fee that you are building into what you're charging the doctors. So the doctors are always the ones that are paying those fees, if that makes sense.
Yep. No, you answered it perfectly. Now, you mentioned earlier, just in brief, Adam, about auditing, about doctors being under audits. What is that about, and how does AuditGuard take care of that?
Yeah, so I actually did a call with a doctor this morning, and he was asking me, the reason I was talking with the doctor is because he was friends with someone who was looking into this opportunity. So he wanted me to chat with him about it. But he was saying, you know, do you guys offer any kind of coding review, because that's where doctors are really getting hurt, is they're not coding properly. And so this is a service where we can help with that. So we can actually do a complete review. We take a sampling of about 50 patient charts, and we review all of the workflow and everything that the doctor has done and not done regarding those patients and their treatment and the coding that was used and all that kind of stuff. And we actually put together a report that can make recommendations on, okay, so here's what you guys need to be doing now, moving forward. Don't do this, do this, do this, don't do this, that sort of thing. And so what it does is it helps protect, if Medicare ever were to come in and do an audit, which Medicare is really cracking down on doctors right now. They're going after any little thing that they can find that doctors are doing wrong, whether they're doing it on purpose or not. And they're fining doctors huge amounts of money if they code wrong or do anything wrong. So this service here greatly reduces the chances of them being fined if they follow all of the recommendations in the AuditGuard report that we provide. So that's another service where this is kind of one of those services where you charge the doctor a one-time fee to do that. So it's not an ongoing revenue for you unless you have them do it every year, which it could be something that you do for them every year. So, yeah.
Something that you do every year. And kind of following up with you again on that, Adam, Sepida is asking, do we have to pay every time when we use the coding or any other services later? And Adam did explain that. That's just an add-on fee that you'll be charging the doctor, and then you'll pay our coders to actually do the coding for you for that. So obviously, any of these other services that you have, someone's going to have to do that work. So obviously, you're going to need to pay that particular part of the business. But remember, that's being paid by the doctor to you in order to take care of that. So I appreciate you asking that question. Here's some of the reports that Adam was talking about here, of just showing all the different reports, how the coding turnaround time summary works out, making sure, again, that the doctor is right on target whenever it comes down to their codes. And it was great that you actually had a call today with a doctor asking if we do any coding reviews. That was pretty timely on that one. All right, Quick Collect. These next two services that people are going to learn again today is, again, all about revenue, Adam. And so as the doctors are, this may be a way to even get into the doctor's office about a lot of practices are having a hard time collecting money up front, let alone on the back end from high deductibles. And especially now at the front part of the year, there's a lot of money that needs to be collected from the patient side of it. Why don't you maybe take this a little bit more and talk about Quick Collect?
Yeah, this can be kind of a sour subject for doctors and also licensees and people that I talk with that are looking into this business. They ask, is this collections? Do I have to call little old ladies and scare them into giving me money? No, we don't do any of that. Licensees don't do any of that. But if a doctor has a really bad problem with patients that don't pay, and the doctor would like to go and try to collect some of that money that's owed to him rightfully, we do have a service called Quick Collect, and it's similar to a collection agency, but it actually is a little bit different. They typically can collect faster than a collection agency and charge less money. And this is something that you don't have to do at all. This is another service where we do all the work. So no phone calling for you, no letter writing, none of that stuff. And any money that they collect for the doctors, you get a small piece of that.
You bet. You bet. And then one of the last ones that we're going to talk about today is iDocs Now. And again, imagine, folks, you're able to provide a solution for a doctor to get all of their documents out. And if you think about it, doctors are going to have to keep a minimum of 7 years of all of their medical records that they have on people. And so imagine the cost that it goes on filing and storing that. Some of them have to store it in certain places, pay expensive areas to be able to do that in. iDocs Now is actually something that is a online web-based portal, again, that will provide 100% HIPAA compliant storage, secured storage online for those doctors to have. Much cheaper than real estate. It could actually free up an examining room in a doctor's office. So imagine that you can actually apply this to the doctor as well as part of one of your solutions that you give to the doctor. All right, let's go to day 4. Day 4 is still more marketing. I think that's usually the day that I got a picture of it right here, the day that your dad actually goes up there and starts kicking this part of it off.
Yep, there he is. He is, bless his heart, he is so involved in this business. He doesn't have any hobbies. He doesn't golf. He doesn't fish. I keep telling him, Dad, you need to come up with some kind of hobby. But no, his enjoyment out of life truly is helping other people rise up to the level of success that they truly want to be at and not be stuck in some 9-to-5 job their entire life. So that is why he is involved in the training, and he does some of the sessions on marketing. He's been around the block a few times, and he's made all the mistakes in marketing so you don't have to. So all you have to do is just do exactly what he does and what he says, and you will be a success. I mean, it's proven because he's a self-made guy. He came from nothing, and he figured out how to be successful. He wasn't born into it. So anyway, I get impassioned about that. But yeah, so we talk about in the marketing session that the only way that you can truly get doctors to work with you is if they know, like, and trust you. And that's the tricky part, is how do I, people say all the time, how do I get my foot in the door? How do I find these doctors? That's what we show you how to do. We show you how to build relationships with other people in other industries who can actually refer you to doctors. And based on referrals, what we have found, and you can confirm this with other licensees you can call and chat with, almost all of our licensees will tell you, yeah, my first client came through networking. I met somebody at a networking event, and they were in, I don't know, real estate or something. And then they were showing a house to a doctor. The doctor mentioned he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make the house payment because his builder quit and he was having trouble. And then they remembered that they met this person at a networking event that does billing. So they put him in touch with him, and there you go. They got a client. So that's where it starts.
And I know that everybody, when you were long time ago, whenever you were in business, you could hang a shingle out there and everybody knew that you were in business. Then came the internet, and everybody started putting information out there on the internet saying that you're there. But folks, you can hang shingles, you can put a website out, but nothing is better than getting out and learning the people that you're working with in that particular community, because you're going to find out that that community is based upon relationships upon relationships upon relationships. That's one of the key features that Patrick and the rest of the team here is going to show you how to get in front of those doctors, so that those doctors, you earn almost an instant trust, and you're going to be working with those doctors, again, based upon their money. Now, part of the marketing, what we're going to do through that this week, is to get you positions as the subject matter expert. You will find out when you actually start doing some of the networking out there, most folks may have heard somebody being in medical billing at one time, but most of them don't know anything about medical billing or really what the doctors are up against. It's amazing, Adam, whenever I know that you've done it. I mean, this is what we do. We live this and breathe this all the time. We'll be talking to somebody about sort of the things that we do, and all of a sudden it starts leading into what is being taught in marketing. And the next thing we know, people are asking us, well, did you do billing? And could I recommend somebody to you? It really does get to be it's just talking with people, letting people know what you're actually doing.
Yeah, and that's the question that we also get a lot, is like, how do I approach doctors when I've never been in this world before, and we teach you how to position yourself, and we teach you how to present yourself to let them know, hey, I just opened up this new business, this new office here locally, and we do revenue cycle management as an outsourced solution for medical providers, and we process thousands of claims every day. See, you as a licensee, you can use our numbers. So we process thousands of claims every day, and we have references if the doctors want to talk to other doctors that use the system. We do all kinds of things to build your credibility.
That's the big thing. And building credibility is actually the marketing material that we already have ready for you, as we're showing here. We've got professionally printed marketing material, nothing that's going to be printed off your inkjet printer or even your laser printer. This is high gloss information that you'll be able to use for your marketing. We also have books that are going to help you do your marketing. I'm going to explain the one there in the middle, but folks, these are things that you're going to be able to do and give away and even mark up in these books to help the doctors know how, number one, over the left, how physicians can get more patients. Number two, the one in the middle, the new thriving medical practice, that subject line under the subtitle there, how to get off the hamster wheel. Listen, doctors understand that kind of talk. They understand that it is difficult. They get up early, they get home late. How can I thrive in this medical practice? And then one of our old ones, faithful ones, is Cash Crunch Cash Flow there. We're going to show you how to take all of that information along with the drip marketing campaigns that we have. All of these are professionally written. They're ready to go. You can put your logo on these. We show you how to do that. And this is what, again, that they're learning. So you've got the relationship building that you're doing in the networking. You're learning how to use this material that, again, is setting you up as the professional out there. And you don't look like you're just homegrown working from your spare bedroom. You really are in business. And these are the marketing tools that we have for you. However, Adam, we know that there are some times that a lot of people may not even want to do any of that. But we do have some solutions, and we do teach how to use sales reps.
Yep, this is another option. If you go through our entire training and learn about all the marketing methods, which are very non-aggressive. We have people all the time that show up Monday, at our training, and they're terrified of, oh, sales and marketing. No, I can't do it. But when they go through the training and they see how our approach is, if you look at our testimonials on YouTube, you'll see they'll say, yeah, I can do some of this. Some of this marketing is not a big deal. That being said, if you want to, spread your net, if you will, or maybe if you're just scared of going out and marketing, we have a sales rep program where we can show you how to find the right person for your business to go out and market these services for you. We have everything in place for you to be able to interview them. We have interview scripts. We show you how to hire them as far as contracts and different things that we have ready to go. We have all of the training materials that you can very quickly get someone up to speed on the services and how they work. And then lastly, how to pay them as well. So that's a service that, that's a service that licensees have had success with is sales reps.
You bet. And folks, these are the techniques, again, that we're showing you how to build your team, how to market your business. You can use the sales reps. And again, to bring some clarification here, it's not that we have sales reps that we're going to give you or that we've already found for you. We're actually going to teach you again, if you kind of use that old adage, we're not going to give you a fish. We're going to teach you how to fish. This is your business. So we want you to own what you're doing here. But you don't have to recreate the wheel in all of this. Matter of fact, again, Adam mentioned a little bit earlier in the webinar about a practice analysis. And this practice analysis is now going to start to zero in on what's really wrong with the doctor. He made mention that there's this questionnaire. You can see it over to the left-hand side. There's about 3 or 4 pages of these questions that, again, we're going to position you as that industry analyst, that what you really are as the professional out there. And then once you start kind of learning some of these questions, when you're doing your networking, you'll be able to kind of start learning this and talk to others about some of the questions that you're going to be asking the doctor. Then when you've got that information, then it goes into this practice revenue report. And Adam, this is where it gets really, really fun, because you take the numbers that are coming from the doctor, you plug them into here, and then we see the results at the bottom of the page. I mean, how often have we heard from licensees saying, yeah, look at what I'm able to do for this doctor down there at the bottom of the page?
It is extremely rare that a licensee does one of these revenue reports and there's not a substantial savings for the doctor to outsource to the licensee. I mean, every single time we see one of these come in, our support team sees them, I see them. The rejection rates are through the roof. They're using antiquated software, they're overpaying staff, all kinds of stuff going on. So yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer in most cases for them to switch.
In a lot of cases. Yeah. And folks, you can see it back over the questionnaire. Look over there about quarter way down. It says, how do you currently process claims in your office? Is it outsourced or in-house? Folks, we've got those questions there specifically. So it doesn't matter if the doctors outsource their business or whether they're doing it in-house. We will find, this is a question that's going to dig and try to think of it as a discovery process of what you're doing. And finding the gaps, finding the pain points with that doctor. And then you put it in writing. And this, coupled with that demonstration, as Adam and I talked to you earlier about, it's like a 1-2 punch. You almost can't get away from it. It's almost like the doctors I've heard them, Adam, they're almost shell-shocked to think this has got to be too good to be true. And to some degree, you have to kind of let that settle in. But eventually the doctors go, gosh, if you could just get half of that money that you're showing me. Look at down there at the bottom, $26,000 per month more. Imagine if the doctor said, look, if you just get half of that, I'll be happy. So that's what it takes apart, and that's why we've got this part of it here in the marketing. And then again, we've got everything professionally ready for you. We've got the presentation folders that you see here, very thick, cardboard type of presentation folders. The presentation that you see there in the middle where it says revenue cycles solutions. All of that is on our licensee support site, ready to put your logo and all of the content that you can put in there. A little bit more about marketing, Adam. Let's kind of wrap up here with this, but the next two slides talk about some proactive things that people can do in their marketing. One of them is this lunch and learn. You want to explain a little bit about that too as well?
Yeah, we're going to have to move through here pretty quick, but basically we have a method called a lunch and learn. And what we have found to be true in every part of the country is one thing that the doctors and their staff love is food. So, so we show you how to do a promotional event where you offer a free lunch and you can have someone come and speak on a hot topic in the industry. And you'll have a room full of office managers show up for that and get information and get free food and get your business cards and potentially do business with you.
You bet. I found out one of the best places you could do this is at one of your area chamber of commerce. I bet you every person that's in here has a chamber of commerce that has a chamber of commerce luncheon every single month. You could be one of the speakers of that. And again, whether it's a group of office managers or whether, again, it's just your network business group of people that you're working with, you can do that too. And another part about marketing, we're going to teach you even how to use this as a trade show, to get the word out about what you're doing here, whether you're using our trade show booth, whether it's the big one that you see there in the middle or the one to the side, the tabletop one, that one's all there too. Adam mentioned that we're getting close up to the top of the hour, so we've got about 7 more minutes left here, but we finally end up here on day 5. And day 5 is pretty exciting in a lot of ways because it's kind of wrapping everything up. It's about, instead of going a full day, we go till about 1 o'clock. We'll kind of talk about the times there, but this is where they're starting to get in learning about support and basically a kind of a jump start checklist. Adam, I know that you kind of take some of the role here, so because you kind of teach this on Friday. Why don't you kind of just take us through what happens on a Friday during that day?
Yeah, so we take everything that you've learned throughout the week, and we try to figure out what your goals are. We help you try to figure out what your goals are for your business and how you want to grow and what approach you want to take. So we basically help you put together a step-by-step jumpstart plan that shows you exactly what steps to take and when to take them when you get back home. So the very first day on Monday, when you get back home, you have a list that says, okay, here's what we're going to do week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and so on and so forth. And it's designed to get you a client that will be generating revenue as quickly as possible. And right now, the average time is 30 to 60 days after training to get a first client. So that's very important that we help you put that together on the last day there.
And then we step you through what's called the licensee support site. So folks that are getting ready to come to our training class in March, we're going to be talking about that. As soon as you fill out your paperwork and you've done your investment here with ABS, you are going to get direct access to the licensee support site. And one of the things that we're going to go over on that Friday is some of the things that we're showing you right now, which is how to get started. So as soon as you become a licensee, one of the things you can go to and get your login on is through the licensee support site. It's going to tell you about the live training prep, the business operations, setting up your website. We've got all of that there. Then we go through every single service. Now, folks, what we have here in each of these services what you learned in that training class, we've actually had most of this recorded already for you that you can go back after training and go back and refresh yourself on any particular area. Then we get into the marketing. All of the different areas about marketing that we teach during the week is right here as well. So you'll never be without follow-up information, whether it's the tools, the practice analysis, the proposal, all of your service agreements, any resources that you're going to need. This licensee support site is chocked with information. And one of the last things I wanted to share with everybody today, Adam, is a very clever thing that your dad actually put together. It's one of the best marketing things I think we've seen so far, is the New Thriving Medical Practice book. And then really what's at the very bottom of it. We see your dad's name, and then we see Dr. Vicki Rackner's name. But right underneath that, we see the foreword by Susan Smith, CMRM, which is a Certified Medical Revenue Manager. Why don't you explain what that folks, as once they become a licensee, what they are able to do with this particular book?
Yeah, remember what I said about credibility building? This is a big one. So we actually take your name. The sun is on my face here. I'm trying to avoid the sunlight. We actually take your name and we print it on this book as the author of the foreword. So we already have a pre-written foreword of this book that we add your contact information and we add you as the author of that foreword. Now you can put whatever you want in the foreword, but we have one that's ready to go. So if you want to take a look at that, we can send you a copy of it, an ebook. Just let us know. But this is huge. I mean, you are on the cover with the CEO of American Business Systems and a former surgeon that wrote this book. So right off the bat, and we actually show you how to highlight different sections of the book, so the doctors, they don't have to read the whole thing. They can just glance at certain parts and really get to the meat of what it's all about, which is, hey, you need to analyze every aspect of your revenue cycle or you're losing money. That's what the bottom line of the book is. So we show doctors how to survive, not only survive, but thrive in private practice. That is our goal. We want doctors thriving in private practice. And that's what we're helping with.
And so, folks, as Adam mentioned, if you'd like to get a copy of this, again, get with your business coach that you're working with. Now, I will say one thing, Nadia, or Nida, hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. You said that I keep mentioning business coach. How do I get a business coach? If you don't know the person that actually invited you to today's webinar, that's actually your business coach. So get with either maybe Adam or me or anybody of the other guys here at ABS that you might be working with. If not, just call the number and we'll make sure that we get you plugged in there. Now let's wrap this up real quickly. We're at the top of the hour. The training is actually held here in the Dallas-Fort Worth here. It's at a Marriott suite here. So folks, we're just kind of give you a little bit of information because we've got a training. This training class is ending, but we've got one that's getting geared up for March. But you're going to want to fly into the DFW airport. The actual hotel will pick you up from the airport. There's no need for you to have to get a car rental. The classes are for Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and then on Friday, 8 to 1 o'clock. We provide lunches every day here by ABS, but the licensing fee does not include the travel, nor does it include the hotel. So that's a separate fee. And the reason is because of our 100% money back guarantee. Adam, why don't you explain this, and then we'll get everything wrapped up, and maybe we can get one or two more questions in before we have to leave here.
Yeah, sure. So it's kind of a final safety net, for this whole opportunity, because I know a lot of people are just scared of losing their investment, and I get it. We get it. It's a big move for a lot of people. That's a lot of money. So there's a lot of ways for you to do research on this business before you decide to join us at the live training. But even once you've done that and you come to Dallas, you pay the fee, fill out the agreement, you come to Dallas, go through the training. At any point during the training, if you don't feel like this business is right for you, you can just tell us and we'll give you your money back. It's as simple as that. And we have that in writing in our agreement. Yeah.
You bet.